Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online and on the go. This is Valley News Live 10 at 10.
We begin tonight with breaking news. Thanks for joining us. Mike has the evening off. Reports of a robbery have been confirmed. It's at the Holiday gas station off of 32nd Avenue. Now, here is a live look at the scene right now. Details are limited, and we have a crew on the scene. Stay with Valley News Live and valleynewslive.com on updates to this story.
We felt like maybe he had a change of heart because he was following our directions and trying to work towards the river, but because he was so tired, he couldn't do it on his own.
A truly heroic act. 2 Moorhead police officers saved a man's life earlier this summer after he jumped into the Red River trying to take his life. This afternoon, those 2 officers were rewarded by the department's chief for their heroic acts. Valley News Team's Macy Enger talked with the 2 men who gave him another chance at life.
I was kind of down by the first pillar on the Memorial Bridge down there, and when I looked up to the north here, I saw a gentleman in the water.
I just happened to be on the bike path really close to Officer Sprout at the time.
These 2 officers say they could not have made it work without one another, both recounting what happened in July. A man jumped into the water from the bank of the Red River and tried to kill himself.
It was clear by the way he was fighting in the current that he didn't have much longer.
That's when Lieutenant Chris Carey waded waist deep into the water and grabbed his hand.
My fear was that if I got too far into the river, it's detrimental.
Officer Aaron Sprout says he grabbed Carey before he lost his footing.
I just saw him in the water and saw he needed some help, so I just kind of grabbed him and pulled him back.
Officers say they had a hard time pulling the man out. This crushed concrete was covered by a foot of water. Combined with his weight and the faster current, it made it a dangerous situation.
All 3 of us had to catch our breath, and then we got him out. And as soon as we got him out, he seemed like he had a bond with the 2 of us because he was telling us what his burdens were.
3 months later,
it is always a good feeling to be recognized.
Conspicuous bravery.
Both men have been honored for their quick thinking.
I'm flattered and I'm honored.
A facility is helping the man who they rescued.
We hope he is successful in the future in dealing with the demons he's wrestling with, but the only reason he's got a chance to turn that around now is because of the efforts of these 2 men.
Men who say awards weren't necessary. They just did their job. In Moorhead, Macy Enger, Valley News Live.
The Moorhead Police Department also swore in a new officer and promoted a detective to the rank of sergeant at the awards ceremony. Well, today we have an exclusive look at a serious question. Could the next ISIS recruit be right here in our own towns, ready to wage war in the Middle East, or commit terrorist acts right here in the Valley? Unfortunately, the FBI says they're keeping close tabs on that possibility. Currently, 6 Muslim Somali men are being prosecuted in Minneapolis after allegedly becoming ISIS recruits.
Is it fair to say you would have agents that look at possible recruitment efforts across rural Minnesota and North Dakota?
Yes, we're mindful of recruitment efforts throughout, again, I'll say the upper Midwest. We have a number of agents whose sole responsibility is to attempt to locate those who may be recruiting our young people.
Now, FBI agent Kyle Loven says he cannot be specific about how many or exactly where possible ISIS recruits are coming from. But local Muslim Americans point out that they love this country as much as anyone else. We have much more on this story online, including reaction from local Muslims. Just go to valleynewslive.com and click on this story. Well, let the race begin. Telos Associates conducted a statewide poll of 500 likely North Dakota voters from September 18th through the 20th, with the big topic being the 2016 North Dakota governor's race. They asked people about 7 possible gubernatorial candidates. At the top of the list, 59% of people were in favor of Attorney General Wayne Stenehjem, with State Senator George Sinner and Lieutenant Governor Drew Wrigley coming in at 38 and 37%. Now, KFGO radio host Joel Heitkamp came in with 35% favorability, but 38% unfavorable. Tech entrepreneur and real estate developer Doug Burgum, State Senator Max Schneider, and Representative Al Carlson were all 23% or below. But more than 40% say they do not recognize Burgum or Schneider as a candidate. The survey results have a margin of error of 4.4% and a 95% level of confidence. The full breakdown of the results are in the documents attached on valleynewslive.com. Just click for this story. And a Bloomberg poll shows today that even though he's not in the race, Vice President Joe Biden is the top choice for president for a quarter of registered Democrats. The poll has Hillary Clinton as the top choice for 33% of them. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders right behind Biden at 24%. Biden is still mulling a decision to run, while 47% of U.S. adults across party lines think that he should enter the race. A local man says he's out thousands of dollars after allegedly getting scammed from a local attorney's office. The man contacted our whistleblower hotline looking for answers. Valley News Team's Christine Stanwood talked with the man who claims that he's fallen victim to a scam and shares what you can do if you find yourself in the same boat.
Scott Hagiston just wants to spend more time with his son Ryder.
He's giving me the 2 thumbs up because he got to play a video game.
After Hagiston hired Jesse Mattson as an attorney to gain more custody of his son, he claims that he gave Mattson 2 payments of $1,000.
First of all, here's the receipts. I was in Wyoming trucking.
And Mattson simply disappeared.
But I could never get a hold of him again. He just took the money and just poof, was gone.
Based on the North Dakota courts, Mattson has been suspended from practicing law in the state. And this isn't the first time Mattson has been caught. Mattson's suspension came after 2 different clients brought him to court. Mattson was ordered to pay back a total of nearly $11,000. We tried giving Mattson a call, and it went straight to voicemail.
That's how you can contact Jesse Mattson.
Hagiston has filed a police report against Mattson in hopes that he can get some of his money back.
I gave you $2,000 and you gave me nothing. You're fired.
Hagiston urges others to check into their attorney's past before swiping their credit cards.
It's just a nightmare. I mean, unless you got money to keep on paying for attorney after attorney, and then you don't even know if you're going to get a good one anymore. You know, there's too many out there that are just, they take your money and don't do nothing.
In Fargo, Christine Stanwood, Valley News Live.
We tried reaching out to attorney Jesse Mattson and we got no response. Now, if you ever need help uncovering fraud and corruption in your community, call our whistleblower hotline at 701-237-6576. Leave your tip and a member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work exposing the truth. People living in the Dilworth-Glendon-Felton School District will soon be asked to decide on a bond referendum for a nearly $31.5 million facility expansion. The money will be used for an early childhood center in Dilworth. Additions to the Glendon, Felton Elementary, Dilworth Elementary, and DGF High School. The district is saying the new space is needed to maintain current student-teacher ratios with increasing enrollment. And tonight, people in the community came out and some expressed one thing to keep in mind when voting.
At the end of the day, it boils down to we're providing services for our kids. I think that's probably the strongest pull for me, and I think when I talk to people who are not decided, let the kids be your deciding factor.
Several more informational meetings are planned throughout September and October ahead of the November 3rd vote. To get full dates and locations for the meetings and a detailed plan for the referendum, click on links attached to this story on valleynewslive.com.